I have scoured more than 1,000 YouTube comments on some of the most popular decluttering videos that I could find. You guys are a gold mine of information. I have so many good tips today. There are some total gems in here. I think I have about 27 tips to share, so let's get started. Don't organize your clutter. Organization should be functional. And I say this all the time. You want to organize what you use, and then the rest is considered clutter, and you want to get rid of it. Less is more. This one was a good one. If this is a tip from an impulse buyer, and she said if you're an impulse buyer, what you should do is join something like Pinterest, where you make like a Pinterest board and then do your shopping online, pin your stuff to the board, and she swears that once you've done that, it satisfies the urge and you feel like you've gone shopping without actually buying anything. Pretend you're moving. I always have said that moving is like forced decluttering. I love moving because you end up taking a hard look at your stuff because you don't want to cart everything that you own with you. And so when you move, you can say, do I actually want to pack this up, bring it to another house, unpack it, put it away? It's just a good way to get rid of all of your things. And so if you pretend you're moving, that's a good idea. Declutter daily. Just set a timer for 5 minutes. If you can bear it, set it for 10 minutes. Just do it every day and make it a habit. This has helped me so much, but it's to make a list of things that you want to declutter. So go ahead and say like kitchen, and then list all of the things that you've got in the kitchen that you want to declutter. Living room, make that list. It is so satisfying to go through that list and check items off. It just keeps you organized and motivated. I'm a huge fan of making lists. If you don't know where to begin, just focus on 5 things in each room. So walk into your kitchen and pick 5 items to declutter. Walk into your closet and pick 5 items to declutter. It's that simple. Make sure that every single thing in your home has a place, or a home, if you will. If you have something, okay, this is all I have near me, but this is like my charger for my camera battery. I have a little box where I keep all of my YouTube camera equipment, and this goes in the box. If you don't have a home for the things that you own and you can't figure out like where it would go, then just get rid of it. It means that you don't actually need it. Put your laundry away immediately. I know so many of us struggle with this. I am the same. Sometimes my laundry will just sit in the laundry basket, fresh and clean, unfolded for days. The tip here is as soon as it's ready in the dryer, fold it and put it away. Don't wait. Another thing I like to do, I actually will stand at the dryer, or even my mother-in-law will like pull up a chair next to her dryer and she'll just fold things right out of the dryer right away. It's such a good way to just make sure it doesn't pile up. Another one is to time certain tasks so that you know how long things take and so that you can properly allow the time to do it. Whatever it may be, anything that you're doing that's related to decluttering or even cleaning, I think this works really well. But timing those tasks and knowing how long you're in for is a great way to stay on top of things. Put on a song and declutter. And honestly, just put on one song and listen to that one song. And when the song ends, you're done. I also think this sounds like a really great idea if you've got kids. It could kind of motivate them to help. Motivating yourself to declutter is a real thing and a real issue. So instead of building yourself up to do this whole declutter, just declutter one thing. This is not only satisfying, it just gets you started. And sometimes it actually works to get you in the decluttering mindset, and then you just keep going. I also think doing one thing kind of keeps it more manageable and makes you feel like, okay, I can do this. Because if you do one thing every day, at the end of a month, it's 30 things. If you're decluttering and you're uncertain about things, just create a maybe box. I actually do this all the time for my kitchen because I don't want to like get rid of something that I'm not using, but that maybe in a month I'll need it. And I don't want to make a mistake about it because I especially don't want to keep rebuying things or anything like that. So I just have a maybe box and then I stick everything down there. Some people say like leave your maybe box for 6 weeks. I actually leave mine for a year, and maybe that's too long, but you get the idea. Make that maybe box, and if you don't go back to it, you can safely get rid of all of the items in there. And the things you do go back to, just put them back in circulation in your house. If you have sentimental clutter, I know how hard it can be to part with things. In fact, I've done a whole video on sentimental clutter. I can put the card up here for you. But one thing I want to say about this, and one of the tips I found when I was scouring all of the comments, and I totally agree with this, is that you need to remember that your loved ones are not your things. So I have things that my grandmother gave me, for example. She passed away, and I'm very sad about it. But I need to remember that she's not the pot that she gave me, or she's not the bundt pan that she left to me. And that's not her. And she wouldn't want me to have a cluttered house anyway. So just remember, your loved ones are not your things. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Great reminder for everyone. I need this reminder all the time. Prioritize the dirtiest rooms in your house. For most of us, that's the kitchen and the bathrooms. So when you're decluttering, start with those rooms first. Huge fan of this one, but anytime you leave a room, just look around, see what doesn't belong, and take it with you. Or as I like to say, never leave a room empty-handed. Keep an ongoing donation bin. I have one in my kids' room because they're constantly outgrowing their clothing. And then I've got one in my closet when I'm getting dressed in the morning and I see something that I don't want to wear anymore. I'll often just put it back if I don't have a donation bin in here. So I make sure to have one all the time. And then my other tip, and this was also in the comments that I scoured, when that donation bin gets full, just take it off and donate it. Don't do what I do sometimes, which is stick it in a place in the house that we don't use, like my attic. Just take it right to the donation center. Another comment I read was someone said, don't let pain stop you. I thought this was really interesting. She said that just get in a chair and do your decluttering from there. This tip is for those of us, myself included, who can't let go of greeting cards. And I just kind of feel bad throwing out these cards. But one of the readers shared this awesome tip. She just takes a shoebox and then she will put all of her greeting cards in there. And she said, like, the shoebox doesn't take up a lot of space. You just have them in there. And she said she'll go through it when she's feeling down and she'll just read all of the nice notes from the people who love her and care about her. I thought that was really great and I'm totally going to do that. Did you know that Best Buy has a recycling program for old electronics? I did not know this, but so many of us have old electronics, printers and things like that become obsolete. I've even got like old Nintendos and VCRs and things like that I just don't know what to do with because you can't really donate them. Take them to Best Buy, they will recycle them for you. If you're decluttering and you feel like you're spending a lot of time decluttering and you're spending some time away from your family, one of the tips that I saw was to actually involve your family in it. So make it a fun activity that you can all do together, create memories out of it. I think that's a great idea, especially because nobody wants to do all of the decluttering and the work by themselves. It's not like it's all your clutter. So get your kids to help, get your significant other to help, and that will be really useful and a great way to spend time together. This one is like life-changing, and I am totally doing this, but it's to stop calling your junk drawer the junk drawer and instead call it the utility drawer. The idea here is that you will subconsciously start thinking differently about the things that you put into it, which will also help you to keep it organized more often. This tip, I also love it, but they said this tip was that it's okay to feel some guilt and go through this declutter struggle. The reason why is because this will actually break the cycle that caused you to get all cluttered up in the first place. You live and learn, right? Next, if you are not sure if you should declutter something, look at it and say, would I buy this again? If you wouldn't buy it again, why are you keeping it? If you don't know where to store something and you don't know where to create a home for your thing, think about where would you look for it. Okay, so I've got a pair of shoes here and maybe I don't know where to store these. I have a whole entryway system where I keep all of our shoes, so no brainer, these go in my shoe closet. I think this tip helps with anything anyway because I fully believe that organization should be functional. You should keep things exactly where you use them and where you would look for them, no matter where it is. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to keep the decluttering going, I'm going to link a playlist. Click on it and I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.